Dear Mr. President, every day the issue of bullying, both physical and verbal, continues to affect our nation's youth under the radar. With little acknowledgement, bullies are able to corner their victims into suicidal predicaments and homicidal attacks. With rapid growth in this activity, as well as more acts of violence directly affecting the nation, many have called this issue to attention on a political level. Higher levels of authority have begun to take into account this issue and have started to create better plans for our future. The question of concern is whether or not that these issues can be exterminated. Something that would benefit our generation is programs in schools that could educate our youth about the extremity of this topic. Then we can optimistically redirect the violence away from our youth.
Youth spend more of their time on Facebook, email, and text messages. There are more opportunities to bully each other while hiding it from teachers and parents.
Bullying is epidemic in urban, in suburban, and in rural schools, unfortunately. The statistics are frankly staggering. In 2007, nearly 1 out of 3 students in middle school and high school reported that they had been bullied in school during that school year.
I wondered how bullying has personally affected others, and if there is any patterns among the victims of the bullies and the bullies themselves.
Harassment hasn't personally affected me, but it has affected the lives of my friends. I remember one time my friend wouldn't even show up to school because he was afraid people would bully him.
I remember in middle school being bullied by other students, especially being a woman.
Harassment personally affected me in middle school mostly. I got bullied a lot for the way I looked, and a lot of my friends did too, for being a little different.
I was bullied in elementary school, and I was harassed when I first switched to public school. For being Jewish, a group of kids told me I couldn't play with them because I was a big-nosed, beady-eyed Jew.
What most people don't seem to realize is that bullying not only affects the targets, but the people and community around the targets themselves. Families are broken apart by suicide and homicide resulting from this issue, and communities are darkened by tragedies, as well as a lack of effort to put any end to it. This issue runs generations deep, and it is our generation's duty to change our communities into more flexible and accepting places. It isn't up to us to wait for a change. It's up to us to create the change and call to attention the seriousness of an issue long not regarded on the level in which it should be addressed.
We don't like change as a human nature. It's hard for us to accept with certain people and different things and new events that occur. There's always prejudice towards other people, but I think I'm optimistic, and I think that we should believe that society can come together to create and try to stop bullying, because it's a terrible thing.
The age group that is most affected by bullying, I think, is 13 through 16, because people are developing and figuring out what they like to do and who they like to hang out with, and they don't really know who they are yet.
I hope that in future generations, kids just kind of learn to mind their own business more and not focus so much on what other people do that make them happy and worry more about themselves.
I interviewed counselors from the high school I attend, Canyon Crest Academy, about their opinions and their awareness of the topic about bullying in all of its forms.
I typically view the bully in a situation as someone who in their other parts of their lives are being bullied or don't have control over a certain aspect in their life, so they use bullying as an outlet to have some type of control in their life. So I hope to address this situation so students can have another outlet instead of using bullying.
I can't imagine a young person trying to get rid of cyberbullying. It would be very difficult. They want to use social media, and if they are bombarded by bullying on social media, I can imagine that would be very difficult.
My hope for the future in terms of lessening bullying, because I don't think it'll ever be eradicated, is that we understand what the causes of it are and what techniques work to lessen it.
There has been raised awareness in school on the topic of bullying. However, it is acting on this awareness that can truly govern the future of harassment. Slate, a high school club based off the slogan "No Place for Hate," raises teenage awareness to this problem and carries out actions with optimism to putting an end to it.
Slate Club stands for Students Learning Acceptance Through Education, and what it really is, it's a group of peers trying to combat prejudice and discrimination by just improving awareness and making people know that things like jokes and little things that people say, like "that's so gay," and those things are hurtful and they're not okay.
For the most part, people have been very accepting and encouraging here at this school of Slate Club and No Place for Hate.
I was inspired to create the club last year when a group of kids in Miss Bryant's class we were just hanging out, and Miss Bryant actually was the first person to bring it up. She was like, well, I really don't feel like we have enough to emphasize diversity and differences at our school, even though we have so many. And me and a group of others decided that it would be really important and nice to start a club like that.
After many discussions with a variety of concerned people, the conclusion that could be drawn is that the topic of bullying can only be resolved with a common understanding of the severity of the subject. Organizations such as Slate help school environments educate the youth on the issues of bullying. This helps to create a more stable environment and a more tolerant generation. With your help, Mr. President, potential funding could construct widespread programs to inform the nation of the issue at hand. These programs will influence an educated and safer future and put a rest to the issue of harassment.